But first, more on Sarah Palin's time on the campaign trail and new criticism of her from inside the McCain camp. NBC's Peter Alexander is in Wasilla, Alaska. Good morning, Peter.
Meredith, good morning to you. Governor Palin is back home here in Wasilla, but she's away from the spotlight, still under scrutiny, after new revelations about her time on the trail.
Sarah Palin returned home late Wednesday amid another round of ugly whispers, including new details about an out-of-control high-end shopping spree. Newsweek magazine had inside access to the campaigns and reports that a senior aide claimed Palin was told to buy 3 suits for the Republican National Convention, but instead began buying for herself and her family, allegedly spending tens of thousands more than the $150,000 figure already reported.
One very angry McCain aide used the phrase, "It was like the Wasilla Beverly Hillbillies looting Neiman Marcus from coast to coast."
In Phoenix Wednesday, the governor denied causing friction.
We laugh about that criticism, and if only people, come on up and travel with us to Alaska and see this diva lifestyle that I supposedly live or would demand, because that's just false. But again, I'm not going to participate in any of the negativity.
At the Anchorage consignment shop where Palin is a regular, Ellen Arville defended her customer as anything but extravagant.
Somebody else must have gone out and bought all that stuff, because it definitely wasn't the Palins.
At the convention, Newsweek reports, Palin was completely unfazed by the boys' club fraternity that she had just joined, describing one incident when 2 top McCain advisors came to her hotel room for a briefing.
Governor Palin came sailing through the room wearing just a towel and another towel wrapped around her head, and asked them to hold on for just a moment while she got ready in the next room.
The scrutiny at times was harsh after rumors swirled that baby Trig was actually 17-year-old Bristol's child and that Palin was covering for her daughter. The governor snapped, "What, do I have to show them my stretch marks?"
The American people have spoken, and they have spoken clearly.
And in McCain's Arizona concession speech Tuesday night, the magazine reports Palin wanted to speak as well, but a campaign strategist vetoed her request. Back in Wasilla, Palin's loyal supporters were already looking ahead.
We have 4 years to roll up our sleeves and elect Sarah Palin as the first female president of these great United States.
McCain senior advisor Nicole Wallace had no comment about the Newsweek report. As for Palin, she is also not talking about 2012, saying for now, Meredith, her focus is on her family and her home state of Alaska.
All right, Peter Alexander, thank you. The Palin revelations are a small sampling of the 7-part behind-the-scenes look at the presidential race that begins in this week's Newsweek magazine. Editor-at-large Evan Thomas wrote the piece. Good morning to you, Evan.
Hi, Meredith.
So you had reporters embedded in both campaigns. The deal was we won't report any of this until the election.
Right. We made this deal. This is the 7th election we've done this. This is sort of goes back to Teddy White and making him the president. They tell us a lot of stuff because they know we're not going to print it until the votes are cast.
Yeah, but eventually you are going to print it. You discovered that all of this wardrobe issue with Palin was much bigger than even we knew. And your reporters also say what was suspected by some, that McCain really didn't want Palin. She was not his first choice for vice president. So why did he pick her then?
He wanted Joe Lieberman, his buddy, but he was told that he couldn't have Lieberman because Lieberman was pro-choice and you'd alienate the Republican base. And so right up to the end, he was still arguing for Lieberman. McCain is a willful guy, and I think there was a little bit of rebellion. They said you should take a safer choice. Some of the aides said Pawlenty maybe.
But did he come up with Palin specifically after he couldn't have Lieberman? Or?
I think Schmidt, his strategist, certainly was for her. It's a combination deal, but a little bit of it is, well, I'll show you. If I can't have Lieberman, I'll show you. I'll take Palin.
And he certainly did. What about Obama and Biden? Was Biden Obama's first choice for vice president?
Very early in the game, Obama said he was leaning toward Biden, but he wasn't totally sold. He liked Governor Kaine of Virginia.
More his type of guy, more his temperament? Or?
Yeah, I think he felt closer personally to him. But in that case, Obama is cautious, and Biden was the safe choice.
You have some interesting excerpts about cyber spying. Right. Both campaigns, not on each other, though. Who was doing the spying?
Unclear. The feds showed up at the headquarters at both Obama and McCain headquarters and said, your computers are being downloaded by a, quote, foreign entity. There was speculation within the campaigns that it might be China, it might be Russia. The feds aren't saying, but there was a serious hack.
But how did the feds know that?
Well, they watch things.
Mm-hmm.
They watch things.
So now they're just, so the Obama campaign assumed maybe China, maybe Russia? We don't know.
They're guessing. They're guessing. It's not news that foreign countries spy on us. We spy on them. This didn't look like, this is not terrorism. This looks like political espionage, but they were pulling out of those computers all their strategy papers, their policy, I guess for use in negotiations perhaps with a future president wanting to know what was really going on inside those campaigns.
You wrote 50,000 words on this. After all that reporting inside the campaigns, what struck you the most?
How chaotic both the Clinton and the McCain campaigns were. And
Obama and McCain.
Excuse me, I'm sorry. No, the Obama campaign was not chaotic. That's the point.
Oh, I'm sorry. You're talking about...
But the campaigns that were just a mess. Hillary Clinton's campaign was a mess. McCain's campaign was a mess. Obama's campaign really was calm. That's not a cliche. That's not just an appearance. Believe me, we dig for the dirt on these things. And if we were looking for divisiveness, we didn't find it. That was a well-run, smooth campaign. I hope his presidency is the same.
All right. Thank you so much, Evan Thomas.
Thanks, Mary.
Great work.